Good morning, and welcome to sunny Winnipeg. Yeah, I timed it just right again this morning. Okay, now, quick update here. A few moments ago, I was checking the tracking for the 3D printed anchor chain that we're getting. I want to make something perfectly clear. I'm looking forward to getting this. Okay, so the person that sent it probably was listening to my speech yesterday and thinking, "What?" No, that's not what I was talking about. It's difficult for me to say what I was talking about. When I was talking about don't send me gifts, I meant don't send me something that's going to make my life harder. Okay, now we won't talk about that anymore. All right, I measured the easy line yesterday. I know that I did quite a bit of quite a bit on it. I'm guessing probably about mid Bismarck era. Like I measured it and looked at it under the microscope and so on, but I'd forgotten the exact dimensions. I knew that it was not a whole lot thicker than a human hair. Anyway, I did actually measure it, so we'll get into that. It'll be in the rollback. Oh, we got a rollback. 2 days in a row, no rollback. Well, now we got one. Anyway, I did a little bit of work here yesterday. Not much, but a little bit. And today I hope to get more of the rigging done, at least on one side. I'll do one side on camera, and then the other side I'll do off camera because it'll just be the same thing. Let's. Our sun's coming up. Oh, another thing. Somebody was saying something about the Canadian flag that we used to be able to see last year when I was doing the sunrise things. Well, that's more to the right yet. We probably have to wait another couple of months before we get the camera swung around, and as the sun rises more and more to the south, you might say, or to our right, then the flag comes into view, and it also depends on whether Merv has it this year. I know that Canada used to supply those flags free to anybody who you just wrote right in, and they'd send you one as long as you promised to fly it. I mean, why else would you want it, right? Anyway, so his flag may not be up this year. I haven't checked yet. Maybe later on I'll swing the camera around there and see if I can see it. Right now it's kind of blocked by the leaves of the trees. And if it's not there, next time I see him, and I see him quite often, I'll ask him if he's going to be putting one up, and maybe if he knows that there's people all around the world that are looking at his flag, he'll be just a little bit more interested in going to the effort of putting one up. Yeah. Okay. Let's roll back. Okay, I've turned our Rodney around, and reason being is so that this one here will be closer to me and I don't need to reach across everything. Now, if you remember in yesterday's episode, I used a piece of blue tack to hold this. Well, this time I used a piece of, or a pair of self-locking tweezers here. And we're just going to want to try and cut this. Now, we don't want to cut this one. We want to cut this one. There we go. Now, here again, I'm probably going to get my fingers in your way here. I just want to put a little bit of tension on them. Maybe I'll get something else here to hook in so I can just pick it up. All right, now stretch it out a bit here. And There we go. Oh, I got a little piece of ragged end there. I don't know if I can get that or not. Oh, let's just leave it. Okay, now, one of the viewers, I think his name was Ed, was wondering, what is the diameter of this stuff? Now, I know when we first started using it, way back when we were doing the Bismarck, when Tony first sent it to us, in one of the episodes, it seems to me I even looked at it under the microscope. But I can't remember what episode that was now, and I'm not going to go to all that messing around that I did before. So what I'll do is I'll just measure it. What I do remember of it is it's flat. It's about twice as wide as it is thick. It's not round. It's made up of about, I guess, 8 or so strands of very, very fine elastic or rubber. That's what I remember of it. So we'll just take a rough measurement here of it. Okay, now Ed wanted to know what was the diameter in millimeters. At least that's what I get out of his question. So I've got it set to 0 millimeters right now. And the problem with this stuff is when you try to measure it with a caliper is that it will have a tendency to flatten out. So as soon as I feel resistance, I'm going to stop, because if I squeeze it, it'll give a false reading. It'll make it look smaller than it really is. So here we go. Okay, it looks like it's about 0.06 of a millimeter. Now, watch what happens when I squeeze it in. It'll just flatten right out. It's sort of jelly-like. Yeah, it's kind of jelly-like. Okay, I may have squashed it a little bit there. Let's say that it was 7 millimeters now, or 0.07 millimeters. Okay, that's the best I can do for you, my friend. Okay, here we are on this beautiful Thursday, you might say evening now, I guess. And remember I was saying that I wanted to suspend this a little bit with a piece of easy line or something. Now, it has to fasten on right there. And then a piece of easy line would go from here up to right here. And that would sort of represent this right here, which is actually a double line, but I don't think I'm going to try to do the double line thing. I don't think it would look realistic. I don't think I'd be able to get the lines parallel enough to make them look good. So I'm just going to go with a single line. I'm not going to do this little part that's hanging down here, because I don't have the shackle on to put on the bottom anyway. So okay, let's recompose here and see what we can do. And a moment ago the sun was shining in on the model table. That was kind of nice. Okay, I think the best way to do this is have the camera on the other side of the model table. And as you can see, I've already fastened the easy line on right there. I just sort of knotted it on, and then I CA'd the knot. Now, it seems that this is only going to go up so far, and then it kind of binds in that bracket there. I don't know if I should enlarge the hole on the clevis or not. I want to be so careful when I'm reaching in there. Okay, I'm thinking something like this. Whoops. Let's put it back there, right there. Okay, now what we're going to want to do is hold the easy line right there on that top pulley if we can, and then CA it in place. And that is not going to be easy. I'm going to grab it where I think it's just about right, so it's not going to be putting a lot of stretch on the easy line. Whoops. Okay, something like this. Now, if I can get in here, whoops, careful, Ron. I've got my magnification hood on here, so I'm not, maybe not at the best angle there. That's actually pretty good. Now, what I need is a third hand to do the, okay. Once again, I'll edit out the dead spots here. Okay, now the third hand would be to do the quick setting stuff, the curing agent. I think that might hold. For some reason there is a reaction from the rubber in the easy line that causes the CA to set very quickly. And I remember that from both when I did the Bismarck and the Hood. You just touch it on, and probably in about 5 seconds it's already starting to cure. So there must be something in the rubber. Anyway, that's the way it's going to be. I'll just wait a little bit, and then I'll cut it off. Okay, I'm noticing that the drawings do not seem to match up with the model, or vice versa. Naturally, the Rodney would have, had different configurations over its 20 years or whatever. I'm probably going to just run the lines where I think they look good, even though they may not have been in that location originally. For instance, we got these things sticking out here. Can you see that? And this one here, I could run a line from, say, right here to maybe right here. And but then where would that line go? Well, I'm going to call this the radio room. No, that probably wasn't. It's probably something else. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little eye bolt right there, so that we can fasten the lines to. And if we have several lines converging onto that will sort of look like the radio room. I don't want to be wasting too much time doing this. I don't want to get it looking like a drunken spider was, rigging it. I'm probably only going to put maybe a total of 4 or 5 lines on each side, and whatever I put on this side, I will mirror image on the other side. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of go at it. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet this evening. What do we got here? It's going on for 7 already. I suppose I could try and drill a hole right there. Maybe the hole shouldn't be in the middle. It would probably be about near the top. Now, undoubtedly, there's been a lot of viewers come and go since the last time I made these up. So just in case there's somebody was wondering how I did this, okay, and there's our eye bolt. Now, the way I keep from losing these things is I just store them on another piece of wire here. There we go. Okay, it is definitely getting way too late to do any more here tonight. All my cameras have gone into night vision. Yeah, notice there's a few bugs flying around out there still, so they haven't all froze yet. Okay, we'll see you in the morning. Well, it is morning, and because we did not have a heavy frost last night, I don't think we lost any bugs. Not that it would have been a loss. Now, this is the bit that I broke. Can't press too hard on here. I guess maybe I should be holding from the other side if I can. But I think right about there might be realistic. Let's see what happens if I... Oops. Oh, I scratched it. Okay. I think I'm going to have to make a pilot hole. Well, it's a little better. Okay, what I've got here is a brand new number 11 blade. If you remember, we bought, I think it was a package of 300 for real cheap. Okay. I don't think it makes any difference with this blade which way you go. Now, I was just thinking about that drill bit, and I was wondering, well, first of all, I think that those things would be a lot better for the hobbyist like myself if they were shorter, because if they were shorter, they wouldn't break so easy. And they don't have to be as long as they are. I can't see why they have to be so terribly long. Anyway, I'm just going to try and sharpen that bit on my grinding stone here, and just see how it goes. I'll know when I look at it under the microscope if it's better or worse. Okay, there is the distinct possibility I'm going to break it off and it's going to be even shorter. In fact, I got a feeling that if I break it off, it's going to snap off to make it to the place where it'll be useless. Now, I want to be able to hold this very, very lightly against the stone as it's turning. But in order to hold it really, really delicately in my fingers and squeeze this at the same time, I don't know how this is going to go. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't maybe rig something up here so that it'll stay on. Well, I'm going to give it a try here. My stone just absorbed all the water that I'd poured into the reservoir, but it was still wet. Okay, I don't know if that made a difference, but I'm gonna just try it, and then later on, off camera, because I know you hate to see that microscope come out, I'll take a look and see if it looked like I actually did anything. This is really, really hard steel, so it'd be kind of hard to grind, but this stone will actually grind the hardest steel. At least I think it will. It'll grind my my turning chisels. So anyway, let's give it a try. Okay. Now, a fair amount of time has passed since I sharpened this. But I think it's probably just as sharp now as it was 2-3 hours ago. Okay, let's try and slowly squeeze our trigger. It's almost as though I'm going into solid plastic there. Either that or, you know what, I think I made it worse. Let's get a different bit. Okay, here's a brand new one of the same size. Okay, now I am not a superstitious person anymore. And Murphy's Law is actually superstition when you think about it. And what happened a moment ago, well actually a few moments ago, is that I dropped all 4 of these. And of course naturally they're going to go on the floor. Well, that would be Murphy's Law. But I did find them. Okay, now do I want to have it in that orientation, or do I want to have it twisted 90 degrees to the right here? I gotta get some CA glue on there anyway. But you know, there's something else that's actually more important that I think I better do before I mess around anymore with this thing. So, okay, what could be more important? Well, it's not pizza day, so it can't be pizza. Okay, I think 2, maybe 3 times I have reached over to grab something and brushed with my arm these little cranes that we put in here. And I think that the best thing to do right now is stop what I'm doing and put on another safety thing. Don't worry, I'll vacuum that up. Okay, it's no guarantee, but it'll help. How much Easy Line did I get run this afternoon? I guess the answer to that is zip. Okay. I guess I got busy earlier this morning with the groceries. Did I mention it was grocery day? Anyway, groceries, and then I gotta cut it short here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got a coffee visitor. Seems like I'm always apologizing for not getting as much done as I thought I was gonna. But we had fun. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.